All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How the hell is everybody doing today on this fine, what is it, Thursday? Yeah, I think today was garbage day. Today was Thursday. I'm losing track of days. We're staying up till, till 1 o'clock streaming all these games. Holy crap, man. Avs in Dallas, Avs and Stars going to freaking overtime every damn game. At least it's just single overtimes, right? Poor Kyle was about ready to fall out last night. Well, both of us, kind of. Hey, Adonis. Who's that? Michael? How you doing, bud? Yeah, Montreal's so close. When they figure it out, when Montreal gets just a little bit more playoff experience, maybe a little bit more depth, a little bit bigger on the back end, Montreal is going to be the team that they'll be the next Panthers. They'll be the next Panthers. It's take them a little while, you know, but 3 years down the road when the Panthers are kind of maybe running out of gas from winning 5 cups straight, or something like that. It looks like it's going to be Montreal that's going to take over because there's really no other team that's out there that's on that arc of being that young and that good. Not the Panthers, not the Lightning, not the Leafs, not really the Canes, the Devils if they ever could stay healthy, but nothing like Montreal. They're gonna be a beast. All right, let's see how we doing. Science says the Oilers are cooked. I could not agree more. I feel bad for Skinner, man. I mean, the Oilers defense was awful. I saw the highlights. It's terrible. Hey, Simon. Yeah, man. I love this time of year. I love the first round. I love the whole playoffs, but the first round just being every night, all night. Can't keep that pace for forever, but I'm enjoying it. Michael says, have I seen any other teams in this playoffs besides the Avs and Stars that look like they could keep up with us? It'd be interesting to see how the Capitals would do. I know they beat us in the regular season. Now, Montreal is like in its own category with their speed and youth and the energy that they're possessing. So it would be a different game playing against the Caps, and Toronto don't look all that bad. But in terms of another team out there that I'm looking at, like, we can't beat them 4 out of 7. Out of all of the teams, Tampa is still my biggest concern right now. I see how you doing. Alechka, you thoroughly enjoyed the Oilers' downfall. Craig says Swaggy heats up tonight. Yeah. I know Alechka and the Rangers extended Drury. Whoa. I mean, at least the Islanders finally got the point, but I can't believe the Rangers did that. Yeah, Alechka, the Bruins are a mess. Yeah. I guess the owner made the promise they'll be back in the playoffs next year. That's a tall task. I mean, they got the goalie. Goat Slayer says, hey, Jaws, go Cats, go. Can I take it to them again tonight? Need to cap it in 2 points. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and predict the sweep. But if we win the second game, if we're up 2-0 and we got 2 in a row at home, but we got to win tonight. One game at a time. The difference, the monumental difference in this series, 1-1 versus 2-0 is really going to be everything. Craig says, yeah, the Kings. Like, we got to find out about the Kings. Like, Edmonton's defense is so bad right now, Craig. I don't know that we're getting a real clear picture of LA right now. We'll get to the second round and see how that works out. Alechka says, I'm petty today. I almost read that as I'm pretty today. Adonis says, I think Jay Woodcraft should have still been the team's head coach, and not his fault that Skinner and Campbell were playing like crap. Yeah. Edmonton, I know Skinner got them where they went last year, and I know that, if Edmonton could have scored an extra goal here or there. They win the cup. But I'm just surprised that they have just stuck with him. He just doesn't. But then again, look at Sam Montembeault, right? I mean, he's been mid forever. And since the Four Nations, he's been lights out. Yeah, Michael says the same thing. I need to see the Kings play a team that puts up a fight, right? Yeah, Adonis, Drury, after firing 4 head coaches, gets an extension. I couldn't believe it when Kyle told me. Hey, Simon. Yeah, same Tampa team's the only team. Yeah, Henderson. Yeah, they extended him. Hey, Hungry. Simon, we went fishing for maybe a half hour yesterday. I took the boys to the beach yesterday afternoon. The weather is warm, but we had such a long, hard, cold winter, and the river was frozen up for a good 2-3 weeks solid. The water's still too cold. Like usually by now, the weeds have grown up to be about 2 or 3 feet, and the bass are jumping. The water's still too cold. It's going to be another week of being in like 75 degrees every day. It's unfortunate. It's just going to be a late. Some years April's really good, but then in the years that April's not good because it's too cold, May is going to be lit. May is going to be crazy out there. Henderson says firing Lavio was a good step, and firing Drury would have been a great second step. Yep. Mulvar says if the Panthers kick the Lightning's ass again and go up 2-0, it's over. It may not be a sweep, but it's over. I mean, if we pull out another 6-2, not going to say it's over, but because I can't say that, but I get what. Yeah, 2-0 and 1-1 in this series is such a world of difference. Thanks. I see that, Henderson. Hey, Cuban. Thank you, bud. Thank you, bud. He says, put 1,000 on the Cats. We're winning positive energy. Can you loan me the 1,000? Can you loan me the 1,000 and I'll put it on Florida. And when I win, I'll give you the 1,000 back. So I better win. Thank you again, Cuban. Yeah, Adonis, Rangers and Bruins franchises doomed by our wrath, right? Henderson said, I've seen us get spanked in game 1 and return a favor in game 2. And I've seen the Columbus series. Yeah, that's really what it is, Henderson. It's a good analogy. I always say this usually before the series starts. Game 1 doesn't mean anything until after game 2, right? And that's just kind of the way I look at it, because just the difference between 1-1 and 2-0 in any series, really. I mean, except like Montreal and Washington, I genuinely feel like Montreal still has a chance. They're getting so many chances. So maybe if they could pop off 2 in Canada, I think they've got a shot. They're so close. They're so close to winning those games, like 5-2. Real says, I'm not saying it's over until we won 4 games. Yep. Greg, yeah, Byfield, yeah. Oleska says, when I heard the news about Drury, I almost shed a tear of happiness thinking about Zito. Yeah. When I saw Omar allow the playoff goal, I looked at Kyle, or the overtime goal the other night. I looked at Kyle. I said, I appreciate having Borowski, right? Like you appreciate you. We're so lucky here, man. We put up with a lot of years, but you look at what other teams are dealing with, and you appreciate. Like look at Edmonton, right? It's like they did what we did against Vegas. We just didn't whoop their ass the same way. We almost did, but they did not go out and. I mean, the defense seems to be worse. It's just awful what they're putting on the ice. Bolvar says the Kings team is giving me 2014 vibes, and I'm a little scared. Well, that was quick, though, right? Wasn't it? Nick says, I always forget the Kings exist until the playoffs. Yeah, it's kind of like the Steelers in football, right, Nick? It's just like, oh, them again. Dietrich says, I feel pretty. Michael, yeah, I think if the Cats and Tampa are in different divisions, we meet in the Eastern Conference Finals every year right now. I would agree with that. Hey, Sunswine. Blended says, what team down 0-2 do I think has the best chance of coming back? That's a good question. Let's go down the list. Not St. Louis, or was that tied? No, Winnipeg's not St. Louis, not the Devils, not Ottawa. Honestly, I still feel like Montreal has a chance in that series. The two games have been as close as you could possibly get. Overtime and then the third period. If you didn't watch the third period, Montreal Caps last night, holy crap, it's good hockey. They're both teams are playing really good hockey. I still feel like Montreal can come back and win that series. Oh, hey, congratulations, Sunswine. Missed the first one while you're out on your honeymoon. Congratulations. Get used to missing games. Anderson says, I'd say the Oilers just because of the deal they made with Satan to beat the Kings every year, right? Hey, Steven. Yeah, summer's coming. Yep. Hey, Colin. Are your chats being blocked, JC? I didn't see one before. The first thing I have here from you, JC, is when you were thanking. I don't have anything there until you were thanking Cuban. And now I see you wondering if you were blocked. Seems like no Sorelli for the Bolts. Yikes. Adonis, yeah, the challenge, that was, I don't know what they were thinking. There you go, Fatality. He says, I'm just happy the Islanders fired the old man Lou. Yeah, it was, can you believe they gave him Jam of the Year 2 years in a row, a couple years back, instead of giving it to Zito? Henderson says, but will Montreal have legs by game 4? I know they are getting the shit beat out of them. Yeah. Yeah, check my phone. Hold on, JC. What do I got? Oh, okay. Hey, buddy. All right, yeah, I'll check that out when I get home. Because as soon as we're done here, I got to take Matthias home. I'll check that out, JC. Thanks, bud. Scientist says the team that's up 2-0 wins the series 86% of the time. Right. Icy says, I love how the Cats played, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Vasi is not going to have another game like that. Yeah. Tree must be doing backflips. So, yeah. Yep. Yeah, your first jersey was a Bob one. My first jersey was a Forsling reverse retro that Kyle bought me. It just never showed up. It's just never shown up. It's odd. Kidding. Exactly. Olechka says the ownership, the staff, the guys keep bringing it here. It's just perfection. Yep. Michael says I think the only team that can come back from 0-2 are the Panthers. The rest of the teams don't have the playoff experience. Tampa would possibly, but I don't think that happened against us. Didn't somebody do it a couple years ago? Was it Carolina that was down 0-2 and came back, or was that they almost came back against 0-2 against the Rangers? I'm remembering something there. Miami Heat or a dumpster fire, right? Real Cinema says, I got a bit of a soft spot for the Kings. In 22-23, they beat some of the teams we were fighting for a wild card spot, and they hate the Oilers. That's decent. Simon says, when the Panthers play hockey, for example, I just want to know how many people have season tickets. I'm not sure. on the season ticket number. Not sure how many season seats there are. Will they sell out the entire building for season tickets, or will they do they leave some for general admission? Anybody know the answer to that question? JC, YouTube being YouTube. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom because I'm way behind in the chat. Alechka says the whole chat just jumped on me before I could read that. She says, if we throttle Tampa, I don't want to hear any more about how good they are. They'll become the Rangers to me. Good season, smoke and mirrors. Hi, IDK. Yeah, Bobbery. Yep. All right, I got you, JC. Leonard, I appreciate that, bud. I appreciate that, buddy. Colin says, what's the keys to winning game 2 tonight? Well, I would probably say the same thing I said before game 1. Survive the first 10 minutes because Tampa's going to have a bunch of energy, right? I mean, that's what I thought for game 1. At some point, Tampa's going to explode some way energetically. The key is going to be to keeping it to 1, maybe 2 goals. But that's what I said for game 1. So I guess the key for game 2 is do the same thing. Just have Samoskevich thread another impossible perfect pass to Bennett in the air that he can just knock into the net. It's foolproof. They can't stop it. Alechka says Tampa's going to want to goon it up, you think? Maybe. Hey, Ivy, I appreciate that. David says, yawn, laying in bed, just woke up. The late games. We're streaming those games. IDK says, didn't Dallas come back 2-0 against Vegas last year? Maybe that's what I'm remembering. Yeah, I believe so. Holy crap. Thank you, Great White. Oh, my God. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Holy crap, man. Great White wants to rob a bank. I appreciate that, brother. He says, Cats take game 2 and 4. All right. So that has us 3-1, right? That would have us. Yeah. I'll take that. To the bank, Great White. Thank you, brother. Thank you again, man. Thank you. Yeah, I like that. Thank you, man. Holy crap. David says, also looks like Vegas getting beat up some as well, but I haven't seen more than 5 minutes of that series. I was surprised Minnesota got one in Vegas. I was really surprised that they pulled that off. Pente says, Florida beat up nicely the Tampa Bay players last game. Speaking of getting beaten up, we talked about this a little bit, but damn, what Washington is doing every freaking shift, you see a Canadiens player just go flying. Is it just my imagination, or are the Canadiens all like my height? I mean, that might be a bit of an exaggeration, but you get my point. Canadiens they're small, right? They all look so small compared to Washington. Alessio says, I want to sweep more rest for our guys. Yeah, because especially with Chucky, right? You know what you want to minimize his time on ice. Because the insinuation is that he's out there playing, and it's incredible that that he's out there. Now, I read the article from George Richards this morning. The way he worded it, I can't tell if it's conjecture or an official statement from the team. But the way he worded it was, don't be surprised if Tkachuk needs off-season surgery as soon as the season is over. And I don't know if that's an official statement from the team or if he was just guessing. It was weird. It was weirdly worded, so I couldn't figure it out. Yeah, Montreal's a small team. Yeah, they're getting rocked. Bunch of jerks. Kane says 100% Kane's finishing off the Devils. Completely agree with that. I don't know if New Jersey's going to win a game. I think Montreal's a one-line team at the moment. I mean, they're holding their own. They are holding their own. For a team with Montevo and Net and Matheson at the top of the depth chart on defense, they're doing pretty good. But Craig says, boys versus men in the Cap series. Yeah. Henderson says, Montreal making the playoffs and having to face the Caps is like getting everything you want for Christmas. Then when you open the last gifts, your parents tell you they're divorcing. That's really damn. I come up with some good analogies. That's pretty damn good, Anderson. That's pretty funny. Aleshka says the Canadiens media keeps talking about how small they are. This has been the main complaint for the past 30 years, and nothing got fixed. Yeah, I mean, I guess if they can take the hits, I don't know, but they are going to be sore. Kachukin says, we won game one with a lot of puck luck and a Bolts team that did not show up, then lost their heads. Barkey even said in the post game that we need to play better. Game two is going to be a big difference. And no disagreement, but it's still a one. You know what I mean? It's still like Marie said, I'm happy with the result. Right? Worst thing that can happen is we split, and we'll probably my eyelash is falling out, or eyebrow is falling into my eyes. We're going to probably see tonight, I would assume, what the series will really be like. Bente says if Montreal wants to win, Slavkowski needs to be better. Hey, Metal, you got a good deal and bought your tickets early. Well, I wonder what the tickets are now. Yeah, Henderson. Colin says, I agree. Getting through the first period with minimum damage is going to be key to the third line scoring and setting up goals for other people like Schmidt. Yep. Yeah, Maurice was talking about Schmidt too, saying, basically he's just gotten better and better as he's gotten more comfortable with his game and the system and all of that. Hey, Kyle. I mean, to some extent, some of it was a little bit of puck luck. And that might have been like the goals not going in, like the third goal that didn't go in for Tampa. I mean, we were outworking them, there's no doubt, but outworking them creates puck luck. So, I mean, it's some of the, like the Reinhardt deflection, like how many times can you deflect it perfectly like that over Vasilevsky's shoulder? Anderson. Oh, hold on. I got to close my window. There's a bumblebee trying to get in there. Go back that way. Ah, shit. No, go outside. Hold on a second. Hey, outside. Get back outside. Outside, you dumbass. You're in the window. Go out of the window. Ay, vey. How come wasps are so stupid? Hold on a second. I got my broom right here. Hold on. Hey, dummy, come on. You idiot. Out. There you go. Oh, come on. How stupid are you going to be? Out of the window. You idiot. Oh, now he's pissed. Now he's pissed. Did he make it out? All right, he made it out. You idiot. Come on. All right. I'm back. He got pissed because I leave the window cracked sometimes. I got the window blocked by with that Panther flag, and I leave it cracked sometimes. And now it's that time of year where they start coming in. He was decent size too. He wasn't small. And I'm just trying to use the broom to get him out the window. It's like, come on, man. Metal says Ekblad is getting creative with these assassinations. Yeah, good point. Oh, geez. Okay, now I'm going to happen. Oh, you thought I was talking to a person? Let's go. Henderson says, greasy goals happen in the playoffs. They're the best kind to get. They just take the air out of the building. Yep. Yeah, apparently they got bag skated for having 6 goals and having a good power play, right? Chucky said, Chucky punching Slucher off worth the penalty just to set the tone. Nice. I like that. Pente, I don't know about Chernak, but Cirelli's out. Well, that's what I've heard anyway. That's what I've heard. Yeah, Ekblad paid me a visit, right? Dr. Doom, yeah, the Jets should be winning that series. They should be winning that series for sure. Great White says maybe there was a Columbus Blue Jacket. Maybe. It looks exactly like the same wasp that was in my bedroom the other day. They fly in. It's an old farmhouse. That's what it is. I don't want to kill them. I just want them on the other side of the window. Nobody wants to go into their bedroom and have a wasp. Coot says, well, Jaws, I was listening to a game reaction podcast, and they said the Kulikov shot the puck to where Reinhart was before he got there, so maybe it was a set play they practiced before. Yeah, they do that sometimes. They will do that. Usually it's a guy cutting right to the net, and we're trying to get that pass to him. I'd have to watch the replay, but that sounds about right. They like to do those. Yeah, Skylar, let's stay physical and box out Braden Point and stay out of the box, right? Jaws the Wasp whisper. I thought it was a bumblebee because the porch is there, and the porch is, we got 2 cherry trees, and I got all the flowers and everything, so we get a lot of bumblebees. Hey, Tim. Yeah, he says, what a shock. Playoff Panthers is not the same as the Panthers during the last 25 games of the regular season. They flipped the switch right on. No doubt. No doubt. Tim says, we'll get at least one Verhaeghe in overtime. I'll take it. That's good. That's 2 games, right? We already got one. Verhaeghe in overtime tonight sounds good. Trey says 57 in the chat, 18 likes. If the Bolts win tonight, you know why. Thanks, Trey. I know, Dietrich, the pass from Sam Iskevich, that just made me drool. How does he even, what goes through his head? If you look at where Bennett was and where Sam Iskevich was, what kind of cocky son of a bitch says, I can get that puck there. I can make that pass. Are you kidding me? You can't make that. Oh, look, it's in the net. I mean, what? That pass from Sam Iskevich was insane. David, yeah, no, we've been streaming the games, the Avs Stars games. Yeah, if they don't kill each other, one of them will probably be our finals opponent. Probably. Yeah. I'm not afraid of either one of those teams. I feel like we'd handle them. It could go 7 games, but I wouldn't be shaking in my boots, right? Dallas is the only team in the league I think is more boring than we are. They're just they'll put you to sleep, but they win. Colin says Cooper said Cirelli is a game time decision. All right. Yeah, exactly. Same as game 2 last year, Swaggy in overtime. We'll take it. I know, David, and that's why he's saying just think how great Samuel will be in 2 or 3 years. That's why I want Zito to stop giving away his first-round draft picks. Damn it. Yeah, scientist. I think Schmidt was talking about that. He mentioned it. I think he said it was a set play or it was a read or something like that. But that when you get these guys that have played together, I know they've only played together the 1 year, but you get these guys that just know the hockey and they're hockey smart. plays like that can happen where for other teams it just like what was it the other night? Was it last night? What game was it last night where the defense just had like a complete brain fart in front of the net? Was that Edmonton? Was that one of the Kings' goals last night? Where like the player just like did a whole ass circle. It was the Nikushin goal against Dallas. Okay. It was like and the one defenseman was just kind of looking around like he expected somebody else to be there. Trey, as long as Seth Jones is behind the lines to the side of the circles and behind the blue line along the boards, we're good. Who says, yeah, that was Dallas, whereas the debatable interference no call. That's right. That's right. Yeah. You're right. Where it kind of might have, should have, could have been a, yeah. Trey. Anderson, yeah, he skated between the circles down to the goalie's right, then straight back, nobody within 5 feet. Kind of like Tkachuk in front of Vasilevsky. Like, that's not going to happen again, right? I mean, he had all day in front of Vasilevsky. David says that was the 4-on-4 with the Stars and got the assignments confused. They got confused, all right. Anderson. Benji says if Dallas gets Miro back fully healthy, they could be dangerous without him. No trust in Dallas, right? Sorry, Anderson. I mean, they left the dude alone. I mean, like, I could have scored. I got a 50% chance of scoring on Vasilevsky if we're just going to leave me alone in front of the net. What happened? Hey, True. Simon says at the end, I think the Panthers will come back and beat the Lightning at the end of the day. Yeah, no, I feel like we'll win this series. I mean, my original prediction was Panthers in 7. I'd like 6. To expect anything other than 6 might be a little bit, to expect less than 6. Yeah, Ottinger ain't Bob, right? But yeah, no, Simon, 6, I think, but I predicted 7, or I, picked 7, 6. I think we should win this series. Trey says your original was Tampa in 5. You did not pick Tampa in 5 in your bracket, did you? Did you really, Trey? I'm glad they took your kid away. For those that don't understand the joke, Trey considered Spencer Knight his son. So I'm not actually. Trey says I did, but you did it last year too. Gotcha. All right, that's good. Hav says, Josh, I hope we can hold a lead and win the game. Man, I'm rooting for you. Got to win both in Canada, man. You got to win both in Montreal. Montreal is so damn close. It's very frustrating. I'm yelling at the TV like I'm yelling at the Panthers. A little bit too much with the toe drags and overpassing. Just shoot the puck and get some rebounds. Jesse who says, what's my opinion on tonight's Leafs game? If Ottawa loses, it's over. Yeah. Ottawa has not, they've looked okay, but they don't, from what we've watched, they don't look anything like they look when they play the Panthers. That must just be special between the Tkachuks. They've looked okay. And Ullmark is not exactly, he's not exactly playoff prime Vasilevsky. Dietrich says, I chose Panthers in 5. Yeah, arrogance. One wild crazy guy says, I didn't learn until yesterday, even if teams that had 2 games to 0, it's extremely hard for the team with 0 games to win that playoff series. Yeah, 14.5% of the time. That's a tough one to come back from. Because a lot of times, though, that 2-0 series lead is usually because you've had the 2 games at home. So at that point, all you got to do is split on the road and win it at home in game 5. It sets that dynamic up. Now, for Florida, I'll be shocked. I'll be stunned. My hair might grow back if we get up 2-0 nothing on Tampa on the road. David says, I wouldn't trade Bob for any other goalie, but if he was abducted by aliens and got to pick his replacement, it'd be Otter. Huh. You think we're not Stolars? Not Stolars? Great White. Dietrich says, still have Leafs taking it. Yeah, Ottawa's just not quite there right now. Kachuk says, Bolts are going to adjust a lot after watching the game film. Cats let their forwards into the zones, then baited them to cross ice pass, which got swallowed up by the D. I'm sure Cooper's going to figure something out. That's for sure. If there's one guy you know that is going to make adjustments that could be a problem, it's John Cooper. Pente says Bob is the best goalie in the world at the moment, and it's not even close. And, in the playoffs, and he's just on a different level right now. It's just, you just expect the puck to not go in. Emperor King. Yeah, well, let's see how it goes in the second round, Emperor King. Edmonton's not exactly putting up a stout defense, but you still got to put the puck in the back of the net, and the Kings are. So I don't know what Edmonton's going to do. I mean, they obviously learned last year how to play those close, tight games, but it seems to have slipped their mind now. Pente thinks the Kings are going to sweep the Oilers. Who would I want in the Panthers to face in the next round? I mean, it's going to be Toronto, right? And that's fine, right? Would I have preferred to face Ullmark than Stolars? Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Toronto's not going to be easy if that's where it goes. It's going to be the first 2 games in Toronto. They are going to be on fire. Because if you're Toronto, look at it from the Leafs' perspective. If Toronto can beat the Panthers in round 2, they're going to feel like they can win the cup. Because if you can beat the Panthers, you can win a cup. That's just the math. Communist says, I made a deal with the hockey guys and picked Tampa in 5-6 games so that they would screw my bracket and give the Panthers to win. We appreciate your sacrifice. Yeah. Hungry, good question. What do I think the conversation around Allmark will be after they got knocked out? Well, they signed it. He got paid, right? How long was that deal? How long was his deal? And I'm sure he got a no move clause. Let me see. 4 years, $33 million. The contract includes a full no movement clause for all 4 seasons. So what's that? 8.25? I mean, they kind of stuck. They're kind of stuck with him. Metal says, what do I think of Bob in game 1? I thought he looked good, but not quite playoff Bob level. I don't think he was really necessarily tested all that much, Metal. I mean, Tampa never really got into a groove of having consistent, high-quality chances. A lot of one-and-dones. Eyes. Well, you think the first goal that Bob gave up was weak? Remind me which one it was. Oh, that was the one with Gensel at the side of the net. Yeah, I mean, he fumbled the rebound a little bit. You'd like to see him usually would eat that puck. No, that's cool, David. I get it. Bob, any other goalie? I can't say I would disagree all that much right now. Although Stolarz is showing us something, that's for sure. Bolts Kucherov says, maybe we wake up like The Undertaker tonight, and I trust John Cooper. I know what he's capable of. No disagreement there. Oh, hey, Tim. Driving from Maine to South Florida. Woo, that's a drive. What's that, like 25, 27 hours? Maybe a little bit more to get down to South Florida. Maybe more. Closer to 30. Depends on how fast you go. Dietrich, your bracket didn't get registered with Fluffy League. Oh, man. That sucks. So Silva says, I don't think Ottawa will be knocked out. They've shown progression in every game, and game 3 is on home ice. So you think they have a chance to come back and win? Okay. Now, tonight's stream, obviously, is Panthers first, but unless the Panthers and Lightning go to overtime, we will be able to stream the end of the Toronto-Ottawa game as well. Cam says, how are we feeling about re-signing Bennett? I'm getting a little nervous. Like they were negotiating, and they're not going to do it during the playoffs, I would expect. So, I mean, maybe they got a deal in place and just didn't want to sign it. I don't know. Like the difference in the numbers, you're talking about somewhere between 6 and 8 would be what seems right. And the fact that we haven't been able to come to terms with that being the case, it's not like we're trying to give him 7 and he wants 10. So with the fact that it hasn't been done yet, I'm a little bit nervous about it. Silva says, worried about how fierce Tampa responds. We might get manhandled just as badly as we did them. What are they going to – with Cirelli out, that's going to hurt. Yeah, the Oilers players keep targeting Byfield. They want to knock him out. I get it, Silver. It's the Leafs. I know, right? You ran Miami to Connecticut with time it to miss the Baltimore DC traffic is awful. Yeah. That's why I like being on this side of the bridge. The only traffic we get here is there's none. The only traffic we ever get around here is at 2:30 when the high school lets out. That's it. And even then, it's just like super light. John says, people are forgetting who the champs are. The Cats played playoff hockey. The Bulls played regular season hockey. That really kind of sums it up right there. Tampa just didn't look – they looked like they expected Florida to come out the way they have been looking. Right? I mean, the look on – when they kept showing the close-ups of Vasilevsky when he was allowing goals, like they just looked like shocked, like stunned, like we won't get another one like that. But wouldn't say we exactly got a freebie, but winning that game, I didn't expect us to win game 1. I kind of expected Tampa to come out and be on point. And I wouldn't have been surprised if it would have been 6-2 the other way from what I was feeling going into the game, just because Tampa would have like this explosion of energy. And that Samoskevich pass with the Bennett goal, that really, like, you could just kind of feel Tampa be like, uh-oh, not this crap. Wild is life, says Jaws. Hopefully the Wild can win a game at home since it's the Golden Knights. I know the Wild can't keep giving them too many chances. I was surprised they got one, though, right? I mean, winning in Vegas is not easy in the postseason especially. And I think, what did I pick? I think I picked Vegas in 5, to be honest. And it could still happen. But now even if Minnesota splits at home, the series is going 6. So good on them for maybe Vegas just kind of got a little full of themselves, which they've been known to do. Henderson says, I think we made the same mistake everyone else did. We saw the Panthers playing not like themselves for over a month and thought they were worn out. Right. David says, there used to be a pilot truck stop just north of Baltimore. I chill there till off hours. I did to the ocean route, Bay Bridge. Oh, yeah. I've driven that Bay Bridge tunnel many a time. I drove that sucker in a fully loaded, I think it was a 24-foot, U-Haul plus trailer in a car in that tunnel. It's something else. You got the big ass trucks in that tunnel, and when you pass them, was it 4 feet in between? I mean, it feels like if you've never driven the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel, if you have any kind of vertigo or any kind of claustrophobia, do not do it. Kachukin says, real talk, if the Cats win tonight, do they mess with the chemistry and dress Ekblad in Game 3? I no. For me, no. At the very least, if you're going to put Ekblad in, you take Belinskas out and you just put Ekblad with Schmidt on the bottom pair and leave the other two alone. If we're up 2-0 and everything is going well, I think that's the most that you do is you take Belinskas out. Now watch Belinskas get 2 goals tonight. David, yeah, they might be hungrier. I don't know. It was a weird game, and that's how Maurice talked about it. It's like it was just a weird game. You couldn't even watch the highlights and be like, get a real vibe for it. It was kind of all over the place. While with Kaprizov and Eriksson Ekblad, yeah. I don't know if Wall can beat Vegas, but if Aiden Hill is on his game, it's going to be tough. Trey, how far is an ice rink from me? I don't know, actually. I don't know. Let me see if there's one in Middletown. If there's one in Middletown, I know there's one. Let's see. That's Middletown, New Jersey. I think there's one in Easton. What is this? This Newark, Delaware. The Patriot Ice Center facility provides various hockey and skate programs. So there's a skate rink in Newark, which is about an hour away. But what about Easton? Yeah. So there's a county ice rink at the community center in Easton. That's about 45 minutes away. That's not so bad. Hey, Gator. Kachuk says, "Do I put Ekblad on the left and make him play on his offside or with Schmidt?" Yeah, that's what I do. I make Ekblad just tie him to the net and just let Schmidt be the other. Just tie Ekblad to the net. Give him enough room that he can get past the circles, but he can go anywhere, right? Just stay in front. Just stay there, Eki. If we're up 2-0. I'm kidding. Al says, Jaws might go nuclear if we lose Game 3 at Ekblad. If we're up 2 and Ekblad has anything to do with losing Game 3, yeah, I could see me pitching a fit for sure. Henderson says, if I'm the Panthers, I don't mess with what's working and Aaron has to wait a few games. That's what I would think is that, leave the lineup alone unless we start losing. I know it's crazy because the assumption is, and it may just very well be that we're crazy and he's going to go right back and put him with Forsling. I don't know. David, so yeah, he's saying Chucky's not at his best yet. and Marchand's still getting used to being here. David, I talked about this earlier. George Richards alluded to the idea that Chucky would need off-season surgery. So I don't know if that's him speculating or if that was something he knows being in with the team. But it doesn't sound like Chucky's going to get to be 100% during these playoffs. It sounds like something, and we talked about this before, where I kind of felt like that was the decision, was did he feel like they could do something without surgery? So I believe that that's what we're going to end up hearing or finding out, is that when season's over, he's going to need surgery. So whatever it is, if that's the case, he's just going to have to monitor it and give us what he's got. Castle says, "Dear Stars, can we stop making our hearts stop and quit going into overtime?" Yeah, we're streaming these late games too. Poor Kyle. Poor Kyle was asleep. Damn. Trey says, "It still blows my mind that they have beer leagues in Thailand." You would be like the enforcer over there, right, Trey? Like, I mean, seriously. Henderson. Good question. Great White says, "Who's going to be the backup goalie next season, and how much do we pay him?" The paying part is the question. Now, I believe that Dan Vladar is a free agent, right? Now, his numbers haven't been spectacular. They've been decent, but we have a tendency to take those guys and turn them into quasi-stars. And I believe if we look this up, he was making 2.2, and it was a 2-year deal. So I believe he's on the last year of his deal. Correct? Yes. So he's on the last year of his deal, and he's making $2.2 million. That would be the guy, Great White, that I would go over and go after and get. Michael says Vanny is good enough with a healthy team in front of him. What Praga said is exactly what I was going to say. Said I'll take Vladar over Vanacek, although Vanacek has his moments. Donna is my woman in the chat. Is she here? I didn't see that. Oh, there's what? Donna. Hi, baby. She says, "I ordered you and Kyle pizza for dinner so you wouldn't have to worry about cooking or dishes." I love you too, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you. When is it going to be here? So I tell Kyle to look out for it. He's going to be thrilled. Yeah, and we certainly need that. That's for sure, because it's been late nights and thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. There might be a slice of cheesecake. Oh my God. Well, I won't have trouble keeping weight on now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Donna's gonna get Silva says, "Quick, Donna's here. Stop talking about dating advice." Hold on. I want to get Kyle's live reaction. Kyle! It'll be here at 4:30. Okay, that's like the perfect time. How does she know these things? Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. Kyle! I want to get Kyle's live reaction. So Donna may have just ordered us pizza and cheesecake for dinner, so we wouldn't have to worry about cooking and doing dishes. It'll be here at 4:30.
Hey, that's awesome.
If you're worried about your weight, I'll eat your cheesecake for you. All right? If you're concerned about that, I'll eat your cheesecake for you. You let me know. I'm willing.
All right, well, I'll let you know.
You let me know. Okay. All right, go ahead and get back with him. I'm almost done here.
Did Amanda say hi if she
No.
fell asleep?
I'm sure she fell asleep. She'll be there tonight. Don't worry about it. All right, kiddo.
All right.
All right. Holy crap. Thank you, Great White. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Great White. All right, brother. I appreciate that, man. Holy crap. I appreciate that. Yeah, we were. If anybody wants to get a good laugh, I should put the clip up. I'll put the clip up at the end of the Dallas game last night because it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, whenever the hell it was. Poor Kyle was damn near falling asleep on the street. He was just done. And I'm sitting there laughing, praying for double overtime. Henderson says Josh willing to do the Lord's work with the cheesecake. Hey, I'm too skinny. I need all the weight I can put on. Kyle's wanting to lose weight. I'll help him out. I absolutely help him out. Russell Bleeds Blue says, hopefully the Blues can win the game at home and play better. That's all you're asking. Yeah, don't get swept, right? Nobody wants to get swept. You get 2 games at home in the playoffs. You'd like to at least win 1. Winnipeg looks like they've got their stuff together, but it's not like St. Louis has been like getting blown out the building either. That makes it frustrating when you're losing games. Like that's what happened to Rod Brindamore. He's like, we didn't get swept. It's like, yeah, you did. I understand that game 1 was 7.5 periods, but you still lost. Braga says, I take Alex Lyon back as backup, or the Blue Jackets cut Mers Leakins. I take him. Mers is probably a good goalie if he ever had a good D in front of him. Yeah, I didn't realize Vladar was getting. We're going to have to go cheap. The point with the backup goalie is that we're going to have to go cheap. You know, I'm not talking Jonas Johansson cheap, but we're going to have to try to get a goalie for like $1.50. And Vladar was already making 2.2, so I doubt he wants to take a pay cut. Deadly Flame says, Oilers losing makes me smile. I enjoy it as a Flames fan. Dietrich, no, definitely not better than the breaking the table. No, definitely not better than the breaking the table clip. He was just exhausted. All right, David. Thanks, bud. We'll see you tonight. Simon, online. She's asking how I met Donna. On a dating site. You gotta know how to write a good profile. You gotta, you know what I mean? If you say the right things, like the right person will read it and be like, oh, okay, that's different. Dietrich, no, that was happy. That was when we finally beat the Rangers in overtime. I believe it was game 4 because we had lost game 2 and game 3 in overtime. Maybe we didn't beat them in overtime. I forget. But that's when we either scored a goal that won the game. Did we beat them in overtime in game 4? Because I know we lost game 2 and game 3, but that was for game 4. Because we were down series 2-1. So winning that game, obviously. Hungry says, looks like Cirelli will be out. He didn't skate. Have they said what exactly the issue is with Cirelli? Trey says, if Kyle's trying to cut 10 squats, 10 push-ups, 10 crunches, that's around. Work until you can do 12 rounds, and that's going the distance easier at home without anyone. Oh, he could, yeah. Getting him to do it. Yeah, 10 push-ups, 10 squats, 10 crunches. I don't think I've seen Kyle ever do a sit-up in his life. I don't think he's ever done a sit-up in his life or a push-up. He's a walker and a jogger, right? Which, I mean, he's got plenty of grass to mow with the push mower. He should be walking just fine. Henderson says, I mean, if you want to give us $1 for Johansson, no, we're good. We're good. We're good. Flames are still picking the Panthers. Appreciate that. That's what we're hoping for. Gator, match. Gator, match. Yeah. The answer to the question is match. And then when I told them I met somebody and didn't need the account anymore, they charged me for the full 6 months anyway. Michael says, I try to do 100 push-ups a day or at least as many days a week as I can on my YouTube channel. Oh, very cool. Very cool, man. How's that working success-wise? It's realize the game time's right. Have Kyle do sit-ups whenever we score. Oh, he'd hate that. John says, if Bob is dialed in, the Bolts should be worried. Yeah, he didn't face a whole lot. He faced some, but if he gets to a point where he needs to dial it, same with Vasilevsky, though, too, right? Michael says, let me come up to film some workout content with Kyle for your Hey, maybe we'll talk about that this summer. He's, what's the word? He's stubborn. Like he doesn't take like, he lets me show him how to do like lift the weights and all of that. And there's another damn wasp that just came in. I think it's the same one. I see where they're coming in. I got to fix the seal. The seal must have got frozen over the winter. The seal between the where the air conditioner is. He ain't gonna mess with nobody. Crawl out the hole you already came in from. Go back out the way you came in. Stupid wasp. Damn it. Gator, I didn't experience any of that. I did not experience any of it. But again, I think that might have something to do with the profile that I wrote. I did not get any. I met some crazy people. Gator, I met a woman that I talked to for 3 weeks. And then the night before the first date, she told me, oh, yeah, by the way, that she was still married and he lives in the basement and is smoking himself to death. And she expected that he would be dead in 2 or 3 years. Yeah, I went. That was fun. Michael says I have almost 500 subs lost in January. Nah, that's really good. Yeah, that's really good, man. Yeah. Kyle will do the push-ups for the pancakes. Maybe. I don't think he put sugar in the pancakes. I think he forgot to put sugar in the pancakes. I'm not going to complain about it, but I think he forgot the sugar. Like there's chocolate chips in them and there's syrup, but if you just have like a piece of the pancake, I'm pretty sure he forgot sugar. Like I'm really sure. Henderson says they haven't said it's his knee, but with Cirelli, it's his knee. He exited after avoiding a hit, but his leg was tangled up and looked awkward as hell. Gotcha. Gator, yeah. Yep, a true modern love story. Yep, it's true, man. We texted for 2 or 3 weeks. And she was upset with me that I said, no, I can't do this. Like she was genuinely upset that I was like, no, I don't think waiting for your husband to die. That's not my speed. She was mad at me, genuinely. So, all right, I got to roll. I got to get Matthias home. So that's 2 hours of driving. So if I leave here by 1:30, I'm home by 3:30. And then pizza at 4:30. So that's how we'll be. The game is at 6:30. So we're rushing. Thank you all so much for all the super chats. Genuinely appreciate it all. We'll be live, obviously, 6:30. We're going to stay live until the end of Toronto and Ottawa. And let's now we can get 2. Let's get 2 tonight. All right, everybody. We'll see you tonight.